Hey there, and happy Monday. So I know it's been a little bit since I've been with you guys, and a lot of that time has been prepping for a recent class I had, and that was a lot of fun. And so the good thing about that is I usually cut for a couple extra spots in case there's last minute signups and such. And so it's nice to be able to take those couple extra if they're not used and feature that as a nice Facebook Live for you guys to give you some inspiration and another idea. So let me get my volume turned back here on my iPad, and I think I'm ready to roll. So today I'm going to bring you a sweet little Easter card, and we kind of commented that the cute little bunny could be used great for Easter, but he's holding a cupcake, and not always do we think of cupcakes and Easter bunnies going together, but just super cute. And for those of you that like to color, you'll love this. For those that don't like to color, some of the comments were, this is a lot of coloring for a little bit of area, but not terrible. And so I think it's going to be fun to show you how to kind of do this little bit of a background there as well. So let me get my iPad set down here and my camera turned around for you so that you can see better what we're working on today. So yeah, last week I was in Worthington for a stamp camp, and that was fun. And it's just the last time I was there in Worthington, like it was really hard to see to get over there. It was like the one day of winter we've had. We've been so spoiled this winter, and so to go over there and have it feel like spring was really fun. All right, so here we have, you can see today's card, Happy Easter. And yet, how fun would this be for even like a fun little birthday cake? Like I'm even thinking like, I don't know why, because there's the one little cupcake like for first birthday, that would just be so cute. So, so where these supplies are coming from, I have the Easter Bunny stamp set. This came out last year, and so what I'm using from this is the Happy Easter and then the grass here, and also the high. I like that little high, and a lot of people always comment like, oh, we love the little high, but lots of little spring Easter creatures like that too. And then the highlight, of course, is going to be these Fluffiest Friends, and I love these, you guys. Hi there, Tabitha. The Fluffiest Friends has just grown on me more and more all the time. So, yeah, here's the cute little bunny, and I'm going to be using the die out of there, and then the little flowers here for our landscape there. And so coordinating dies, these are online exclusives. This you can find in the annual catalog, these only online, and make sure if you're getting both of them that you get the bundle for the bundle pricing. Hi there, Lisa, good to have you on here. So now I call this the crazy paper. I don't know why, but you'll see it kind of looks subtle in the background here, but this is from the Master Fully Made 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. And the reason I kind of call this my crazy paper is, I mean, look at this. It just, there was something growing up. I grew up in the 80s. And so there was something, I don't know, it was called picture pages or something, but they were always like putting paper scraps together for a landscape. And so that's what it kind of reminds me of. And every time I grab this, like this isn't even opened, but doesn't it look like, oh, I've already opened this and these are the scraps that I have left over. But that is kind of how this is. So even for this piece that I'm using today, you can see that it looks like I should be tearing this off. It has such a visual 3D look to it that it's very unique. So that's kind of where that comes from in there. And I've been tempted to use different ones for different projects so far, and something else has always won out. So I was glad to kind of have this as kind of a neutral monochromatic look for the background of today's card. So today's card is a little bit of a fun fold, but not high-tech fun fold. So what I'm starting with is like my normal card that, oh, do you remember picture pages, Lisa? You must be from my like Gen X era, and I love that. So yeah, I'm actually on a Gen X page, and like when I scroll through Facebook, which isn't all that often, I love it when different things pop up that, oh my goodness, that was my childhood, and you don't realize you forgot something until something pops up to jog that memory of just different things, and it's just so fun to see things like that pop up. So you have made my day. So to start with today, today's card, my normal card would open up, like this way. All I've done is taken and trimmed an inch off the edge here. So that's just going to give us that little bit of an overlay lip like that, just for something fun, a little different look to it. So for that, then I have from the Master Fully Made Designer Series paper, I've cut this 5 1/4 by 3 inches, and I can just go ahead and tape this down and such. Like that. Oh, and I have to tell you, my son might be dropping by. So I just sent him a text like, hey, if I'm doing my live, I laid out the adhesive for you. He has some taping to do. And I'm really curious. He's 20. He will be 26 shortly. 27. Gosh, I lose track of my kids' age. Terrible. Don't tell him that. But he's like, Mom, can I have some of that snail adhesive? Well, that's before seal. There used to be snail. And I was just like, my heart filled so much to think like he would actually call my adhesive by the correct name. And that's probably what it was called when he lived in our house. And so he has some things to tape up with, and he wanted that adhesive. And I just like, laid out my seal, for him, like with my heart full to think like he actually just didn't say, hey, lay out that tape dispenser or whatever. He called it by name. I just love that. So that's what I'm putting that on with. And then what I'm going to do next is, like, sometimes I work on when it's a fun fold like this, sometimes I work on the inside. Actually, I think I will, just because I don't want to forget kind of what these little accessory pieces are here. So I've cut, and we're only going to use one, but I've cut a couple strips so you can see. These are cut 5 1/2 by 1 inch as well. Let me just double check. Yeah, it is just the 1 inch. Okay. And what I'm going to do is tape that right away on to my regular inside, and that I've cut the same. So that's 4 by 5 1/4 here. And where these pieces are coming from, and here's my sample. So this one, this little green here, is coming from this little green, which, like, sometimes you go, I don't recognize that, but you might recognize this. And that is from the 6x6 set of DSP called Bright and Beautiful. And this is also from the Bright and Beautiful. They have kind of like a rainbow look. So I'm just cutting kind of the yellowish green from there. And so those two come from there. And I like to give some variations when I can. A lot of times people come to classes and go, oh, I love that we have different options. So now this one comes from the Glorious Gingham 6x6. And sometimes seeing this, even though they're little scraps like that, you might go, you know what? I'm not going to maybe get the Master Fully Made, or maybe I don't have that, but I have this. So then what I'm going to do is maybe just take this side, which is like a smaller gingham plaid, and put it with the other side to make my card front. So that's why I also like to give you guys different ideas, because sometimes it might not be your favorite design, so you're not going to get it. Or you might go, oh, I've had my eye on this, so now I do really want to get that. So that's why I love giving options, so that you don't feel like so maybe turned off from the project in general. It's just giving you options of how to make the project something that you'll like to work with, especially if you maybe already say have like the Fluffiest Friends bundle or something too. Okay, so let me get on with the card, and I'm going to just put some of my adhesive along the back side here, and I'm going to line that right up along my edge. No, I'm not. I'm going to put that there. Okay. I did make this card, you guys. Hi, Lynette. Sometimes when things don't go smooth, I go, how did I even make that just last week? The class was just last week, and I know I made the sample last week. Okay, so I'm going to tape this down first, because this is 5 by 4 or 4 by 5 1/4. This is 5 1/2. So kind of have to have that in there first, because this is going to go all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom. So that's why it's important to put the white piece down first, because this is going to cover it all the way. Okay, so then the reason why I want to put this in there next is because then I know how much space I have for my inside sentiment, which is Happy Easter. Excuse me. So I'm just going to take that from the Easter Bunny stamp set here. and stamp that out. And like I said, it's nice when you can see exactly where your parameters are. And now Lemon Lime Twist. This is the color of the card base that I'm using. So I'm going to get out my Lemon Lime Twist ink pad. And I'm just going to ink that up off to the side. And so starting on that side, I know how much so I don't like run out of space. And then I'm going to go over here and then without re-inking, just put it a little bit lighter in the middle section there. So I've got that. Okay, so that's the inside. I'm just going to set aside the card for now while we work on the cute little landscape of the bunny, you guys. This is going to be fun. So let me just take this circle, and I've been doing lots with the Deckled Circles dies, and I did see last that they're on low inventory. And so when I put together this card, I took out my Deckled Circles dies, and these are online now. They were in the last mini catalog, and now they kind of moved to online. So if you have trouble finding them, let me know. So the two sizes that I have made with this card are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So number 6 and 7. So the white piece is the 6th die from the middle, and the bubble bath is the 7th die. So that's where that comes. So let me pull out, I'm just going to get some scratch paper here because I don't know where my cleaning cloth is for my glass mat. Okay, so where I start with my decal circle here is I'm going to get some masking paper. Stampin' Up! Has masking paper, and I just cut a section, and now after I peel off the sticky here, now this is sticky but not too sticky. Think like painter's tape. So actually I'm going to go and cover about the top 2/3 of this here. Kind of want it to be halfway straight. And I feel like there's a little bit of an angle. And you kind of have to be a little careful, but not terrible. You don't want to get too aggressive with ripping it off, because you could potentially tear your cardstock. But I like that it has a pretty decent stick to it. Okay. It still looks crooked to me, you guys. I don't know if it's my eyes or the angle or what. So maybe I just need to have this maybe on a line and then measure that up there with a line. Okay. Now I want more grass, you guys. It feels like Monday to me. Can you tell? Okay, let me get this up a little bit more. I hope I'm providing entertainment and not driving you crazy. Okay, all right. So now I'm going to get out my blends. And these are the blends that we're using for today's project. So going to scoot those over, and let me maybe get my camera down a little bit closer, because those of you that like coloring lessons, you appreciate that, you said. Okay, so let me start with the light parakeet party. So this is a little different than the lemon lime twist, but very, very coordinating. And what I do is start with my dark parakeet party. And you guys know me, I love my little bullet tip, but I'm going to use the brush tip this time. So brush tip, and I'm just going to scribble here and there, just like that, like just a scribble, like so. Like, okay, my grandkids can color better than that, but that is literally what I do with that. And then I'm going to take the brush tip again on the light parakeet party, and I'm just going to fill everything else in with that. And so then those scribbles kind of, because these are called blends, the scribbles blend right in, which makes it really nice. And now we have something that still looks a little scribbled, but as it dries, we all know the blends tend to kind of take on a nice little blended, soft look. And then I'm going to pull back that grass stamp that I used on the inside of my card, and I'm just going to ink that up kind of here and there across the front of my card to make that now look like grass. And then I can carefully take off this, and now we have a nice even patch of grass there in a fun way. So then what I'm going to do next is take this and cover that up as closely as I can without leaving a mark, because if you have, like if you put it up too far, you're going to have green and then a blue with a white strip. So now what I'm doing is taping this down, and I'm going to switch out ink pads and switch to my Balmy Blue ink pad. Open that up and take a blending brush counterclockwise and then just kind of go off a little bit on my paper and swirl that in. So I, before class, I thought my Balmy Blue pad isn't super juicy, but on purpose, I left it that way just so people didn't have super dark backgrounds. So I like the nice, soft, blended look that this gives, like so. So now we have this done. And I can take that, and how fun is that to have a nice little landscape? Okay, so now I can get the masking paper and set that aside. And now I'm going to come back with my Memento Black ink pad here and stamp out some flowers. And this is also from the Fluffiest Friends. So I'm just going to kind of put 2 on one side and then try and get just a couple more on the other side that look a little different. So we've got those stamped out in Memento Black. And then next, what I think I'm going to do is stamp out that cute little bunny here. And let me get rid of my scratch paper. And the cute little bunny holding the cupcake that I'm just going to ink up here in my Memento Black on basic white. And that's going to be our only die cutting because I did die cut those deckled circles ahead of time for class. So I can just put this guy like so on there and cut him out. And then I can finish with my coloring lesson while my camera is nice and close for you guys so that I don't forget the flowers. I'm going to start there. So let me go with my Sweet Sorbet, and this is Sweet Sorbet Dark. And I'm just going to just go and color in my petals. Oh, hi, Mackenzie. And so, oh, grandkids showed up. I think they're picking up some toys they left here. And then I'm going to go with the Sweet Sorbet over here too. And hi, Weston.
We're just here to get my Legos.
Okay, you can do that. I'm doing my live video. Okay, so now we've got that. And then I'm going to take the bubble bath and do the dark of the bubble bath, and I'm just going to color that in.
Mackenzie, I just want to watch her do this.
Yeah, you know what? You can watch a different time if you have to get going. Yep.
You have to get going, Mackenzie.
Okay, so we've got that, and that completes the flowers. And then I'm going to go back with the dark of the Parakeet Party and just quick color in the leaves here of that. So we've got that. And it's amazing how, like, just doing the dark and the light and shading that in, this still gives a nice pop by using the dark of that. Oh, more company in my background. Okay, so now the green's all done, and now we've got the cute little bunny here. So I'm going to start with that bubble bath again here, and now I'm going to all bullet tips on that. So dark of the bubble bath for kind of the inside of the ears here, and I'm just going to go where the artist for Stampin' Up! Has those extra little hash marks. I'm going to color the darker in those areas too of the bubble bath. And then I'm going to switch to light bubble bath. And so this is where this one gets a little bit putzier for coloring in. Sometimes when it's little areas, I might go, you know what, I'm just going to color all of that in like pink and call it good or whatever. So I go over the mouth and I add a little bit more to the ears. And then the top of the cupcake, like that frosting, is going to be that light bubble bath too. Okay, and then going to go back with the dark Sweet Sorbet, and that's going to be the cherry on top as well as the cupcake liner. So we got that, and that's all we need for the pinks and the reds. And now I can finish with the gray granite, and this is going to be the rest of the bunny. So I'm just going to highlight this like that and go across here and around, and this is all with the dark. So just kind of outlining that and going over the little eyes and the eyebrows and the little whiskers. And then I can just go and outline that. That's why I said it's just like a little bit putzier, but so cute on the end. You know, it's like, we always joke too when I come up with projects that may seem a little bit more tedious. I always say, I hope it was worth it. And people say, a little bit more tedious, cute, but worth it. And so then it's always, okay, then I know I did it right. Because I say sometimes we all have projects where we work on it. Okay, now I'm coming back with the light and just going over the rest of it with the light gray granite. So sometimes I come up with projects and they don't even make it to one of my classes because I'll say, you know what, this was putsy. It turned out okay. But unless it's like, oh, this turned out so fun. And if it was super putsy, but just okay, it's like, no, I don't want my people to make a card like that. That was just okay if it is a lot of work. So yeah. Okay, so just filling in that like so. Okay, there we have that. And how cute is that little guy like that? Just love him. All right, so now I'm going to pop my camera up a little ways again. And that seems like, oh gosh, that was a lot of work maybe for some of you, but for those of you that love to color, you might go, nope, I could go on and on. So now it's just a matter of assembly. So that goes pretty fast. So now I'm just going to take the little guy here and put about 3 dimensionals on the back of the bunny here, and that's going to get popped up. So that way, if it covers up some of the flowers a little bit, it makes it kind of almost look a little bit more natural and 3D, and I like that look. And then now this is going to be tipped over, and I'm going to put about 4 dimensionals. I'm not going to put any in the middle because that bunny's there and I don't want it to get too thick for the mailing process. Oh, and actually I forgot to put the little high on there. So I'm going to put that on here. Oh, we'll see if I can get that to still go on there. I'm going to ink up the high in black. I should have put that before the dimensionals, but I don't think there's any dimensionals underneath there. So I lucked out. That was a very nerve-wracking stamp right there. Okay, and then this guy is going to get tipped over, and I'm only going to put my adhesive on about 2/3 of it, making sure I leave this tape free because he's going to go over the edge and we don't want any stickiness to seal our card shut by accident. So we want to make sure none of that tape goes past that. And then as far as embellishments, because there's a lot of color on here and this is pretty busy paper, I didn't do anything with adding any embellishments that way, but I am going to add a little bit of ribbon. And even that kind of just kind of camouflages itself, but I'm pulling that from the Ribbon Duo Combo Pack. For those of you that loved the Zany Zoo bundle or suite of products, this comes from there. And so I'm just taking this 1/8 inch ribbon from that combo duo pack, and I'm going to add that because I do like the nice kind of, it has little stripes in it or little hash marks in there, and it just kind of looks like, I don't know if it's Easter grass or what I think, but I just love how that coordinates with today's project. So I wanted to be sure and add that like so. So even without extra little embellishments, I feel like they might get, if I added them, kind of get lost in the shuffle. So there we have it today. Happy Easter. And like I said, I think this could even make like a fun little birthday card or something like that. That's why I think that high is just so fun to have as a sentiment from the Easter Bunny stamp set for that reason. So there you have it, a little bit of inspiration. And sometimes you guys are like, oh, I love having some Easter ideas because that is not so far away. It's like once March hit, I was trying to think, okay, what do I need for ideas for card classes coming up? And I went, oh, Easter's this month. So I knew I had to get on top of that and wanted to share that as one of my first projects with you for my live videos too. So take care, have a good rest of the evening. And my goal is to bring you something tomorrow using that new latte collection too with the coffee. So hope to see you tomorrow afternoon. Take care. Bye-bye.